Respected Vice Principal Professor S.N. Shinde sir, today's speaker Dr. Vidyadhar V. Nalawade sir, my colleague Deepak Bhuke, Ashwini Kale. पिंपळे सर जॉईन झाले दीपक?
नाही सर होते.
नाही, ठीक आहे. And the students from RP College Osmanabad, students from SRG Shinde Mahavidyalay Paranda, and the student from our college, UG second year, UG third year, and MSc second year. So today this is our first academic talk of this academic year, which will be given by my friend. He is also my classmate of during MSc. So Dr. Vidyadhar, let us introduce him first in front of you. Then I will tell him about the department. So Dr. Vidyadhar V. Nalawade, he is assistant professor and head of the Department of Mathematics at SRG Shinde Mahavidyalay Paranda, district Osmanabad. He did his graduation from SP College, Pune. He did his PG from Savitribai Phule Pune University, Pune during 2002, and recently 2021 he pursued highest degree, that is PhD in mathematics with the specialization analysis from Swami Ramananda Marathwada University, Nanded. During this 12 years of teaching experience, he has published total 12 research publications, and his research has a great impact. At present, he is working as NAC coordinator of his college. So this is all about, and you will be coming to know how he is by his talk. Let us introduce about department to today's guest. We have sir, we have BSc Mathematics first year, second year, third year, and we have MSc Mathematics here. Total near about 200 strength of the students. At present, BSc first year students classes are not started, so BSc first year students will not be presenting here. We have choice-based CBCS curriculum system. In that, we offer total 4 skill enhancement courses during second year. We have R software programming and advanced R programming for BSc second year, and for third year we have latex typesetting as a skill enhancement course in 5th semester, and 6th semester we have Python programming for mathematics students. Beside this, we have practicals hands-on on MATLAB for 2 semesters in BSc first year. After that, in MSc, we also have the latex for, as student students want to do research project in mathematics, they use this latex software. So in the second year, we have 1 year research project, and it is mandatory to student to present his work in any format, conference, seminar, or journal, peer review or any scopus listed. For that, he is having 20 marks. So total 100 marks per semester research project is there. Beside this, to develop the teaching skill among students, for PG students, each semester we have 1 credit, that is 25 marks seminar, and seminars are compulsorily given by the students. This is weekly activity. And about this co-curricular activity, we organize various seminar, conferences, workshops to students development, and various academic talk. Like just now, this is your first academic talk during this academic year. So this is all about our department. We also guide our students regarding admission to Central University as well as various IITs, NITs through JAM. So our Pimpre sir is coordinator of that. He is routinely conduct activity for that, and some kind of guest lecture also organized to prepare for SET and NET get in mathematical science subject. So I request Dr. Vidyadhar Nalawade. सर तुम्ही अगोदर बोलणार आहेत का? बरं ठीक आहे. हो ठीक. Okay, I request today's guest to deliver your talk here.
Thank you, Dr. Mahesh Vawre sir. It gives me an immense pleasure to interact with the students of mathematics of the renowned college, Rajarshi Shahu Mahavidyalaya, Latur, regarding a very important subject for the mathematics students. The topic given to me by Dr. Mahesh Bhavre is preparation of NET, SET, GET, and JAM examinations in the field of mathematical sciences. On the occasion of this guest talk, I first recognize the presence of Dr. Gopalrao Patil sir, President of the Institute, Principal Aniruddha Jadhav sir, Secretary of the Institute, Dr. Honorable Mahadev Gavane sir, Principal of Shahu College, and my friend come colleague, Dr. Mahesh Bhavre sir, Head of the Department of Mathematics, Shahu College, Latur. And the students of Shahu College, Latur, RP College, Osmanabad, and SJRG Shinde Mahavidyalaya, Paranda. I would like to share my personal experience regarding NET and SET examinations. Dear friends, I passed my master's degree from currently known as Savitribai Phule Pune University, Pune, in 2002. And I started appearing NET or SET examinations since then. But I couldn't crack it for 6 years. And then in 2008, I could clear the SET examination. This is my personal experience. In the very next year, I could crack the NET examination also. And since then, I am thinking of guiding my dear students regarding this. When I was pursuing my master's degree, one of the professors, Dr. Geji, told in her one of the lectures that, dear students, please prepare for NET or SET examinations because without these examinations, mathematics students do not have any future. After the preparation and how I was able to clear this examination, there was a pandemic of bird flu in Pune, and at that time college had to give vacations for 15 days, 21 days, or for a month also. And then I prepared rigorously in these unexpectedly came vacations. And then I also focused on question papers of NET and SET examinations. I studied for 12 to 14 hours and then I was able to get the certificate of SET and NET. This was my personal experience. The intention behind sharing this personal experience is that what helped me a lot in clearing my SET or NET examinations is the question paper. Rigorous study of the syllabus, rigorous study of the question papers and its analysis helped me a lot in cracking such important examinations. I want to I want the same things from my students who love mathematics and wish to do career in mathematics. I start my screen with you. I will be talking on NET, SET, GATE or JAM examinations in the field of mathematical sciences. First of all, what are these examinations? Many of the students wish to go to IITs or IIScs after their 12th. Some get success in getting admission there, but some of the students may not get success in getting admission in prestigious institutions like IITs and IIScs. But these institutions have given another important opportunity to all the graduate students. So who are past their graduation now can get entry in such institutions by appearing these examinations, especially GATE examination and JAM examination. Excuse me. After we get the admission over there, such institutions, what is the importance of getting admission there? That in such institutions, many important companies like IT industries, government statistical institutions come and organize their placement activities and give jobs to the students. The students who passed NET, SET, GATE exam or JAM exam can also get a job in teaching field in senior colleges on the post of assistant professor. And these job opportunities are really lucrative, means they are highly paid jobs. These are some of the motives behind appearing such important examinations. What is this SET, NET, GATE or JAM examinations? Especially JAM examination is short form of Joint Admission Test for Masters. After graduation, we may go for Masters by appearing and cracking JAM examination. This is an entrance examination.
Nalaude, sir.
Yes.
1 minute.
Yes, sir.
Dr. Sauta Fulsagar sir also joined this meeting. I welcome him for this today's program. Sir, Fulsagar sir, तुम्ही बोलणार आहेत का काही मध्ये शेवटी? Fulsagar sir, would you like to speak something?
Hello, sir. Hello.
बोला sir. Welcome, sir.
Oh, thank you. Sir.
सरांचं झाल्यानंतर थोडं मार्गदर्शन करा विद्यार्थ्यांना.
सरांचं सुरू आहे ना आता?
हा झाल्यानंतर.
Yes.
हो ठीक आहे.
हा सरांना कंटिन्यू करू दे, नंतर बोलतो.
Oh.
Sorry for disturbance, sir. Continue करा तुमचं talk.
No problem. I also personally welcome my district colleague, we can say, Dr. Fulsagar sir. So, dear students, please come back to these presentations. Such examinations are entrance examinations to MSc program, 2-year programs in IITs or IISc Bangalore. This is also an entrance examination for MSc and PhD degree. Once you get admitted to MSc, you can come out to the institution with the PhD degree. Or MSc plus PhD dual degree, we also can pursue by cracking such examinations.
La
Integrated
चाय पी रही?
PhD programs at IISc Bangalore. NET and SET examinations are
चुप बैठ के
eligibility
हंस
tests
रहा है।
for assistant professor at universities and senior colleges. Also, NET CSIR scholarship is for pursuing PhD degree. GATE, Graduate Aptitude Test in Engineering, is for admission to MTech degree in IITs and NITs. And importance of this GATE examination, that once you get the admission in IITs for MTech, you not necessary to complete MTech. You means before completing this degree, you may get a very nice jobs just by cracking the GATE examination. Who is eligible for JAM? The students who have joined this meeting all are eligible to appear for JAM examination. For JAM examination, a student should be a bachelor student. He should pass bachelor's degree with the 55% marks if he or she is a general category candidate, or OBC, or economically weaker section category. Or he may require 50% of marks if he or she is SC or ST, or physical with person with disability category candidate. Brief information about JAM. For NET, come back to this slide again. Who is eligible for NET SET examination? Those who have completed their master's degree all are eligible to appear for the NET and SET examinations. Even the students who are appearing for MSc degree, those who are in the second year of their MSc degree, may appear for NET and SET examinations, provided if they pass, they have to submit the certificate of MSc degree within a stipulated time period. Let's come to the brief information about this JAM. I have considered here the undergraduate students, second and third year students, and presented this slide. Dear undergraduate students who are having the mathematics as their optional subject, please concentrate here that for the JAM examination, means to get the admission to MSc degree, master's degree in IITs. There are 20 IITs all over the India, and IISc Bangalore. All over India, there are 12,000 to 14,000 candidates who apply for the test. Comparatively, this is a very small number. Even if it appears to be a very large number, we don't have to bother about that, because only 15 to 20% prepare well for the test, and at most 3,000 out of these candidates give the test with the best intentions, means they prepare well for such examinations, and about 1,000 seats are available in IITs master's degree. Thus, we have to fight with only 3 candidates. Means for one seat there are 3 candidates. We have to appear in first 1,000 students in merit list. There are 19 examination centers in Maharashtra, including Pune, Aurangabad, and Nanded. Examination date is 13 Feb 2020. It is on Sunday. Last date of apply online is 11th October 2021. Application fees is 750 for female and rupees 1,500 for male candidates. Syllabus of JAM examination. A small syllabus of JAM examination is just overlook of the syllabus. Main topics: real analysis, multivariate calculus. In multivariate calculus, single variable calculus and 2 and 3 variable calculus is the syllabus. Differential calculus, linear algebra, and abstract algebra. These are the 5 important topics in the syllabus of joint admission examination for masters. Before studying for the such examinations, everyone should first study the nature of question paper. we should not start our preparation blind. We should start our preparation with exact direction. So first we should study the nature of question paper, because NET, SET, GATE and JAM, all these examinations have their nature of questions question papers different. So we must study the question paper pattern, and then plan accordingly, and then go ahead. In JAM, there are 3 sections of question paper. Section A, there are 30 questions. Out of 30 questions, 10 questions of 1 mark and 20 questions of 2 marks. So total 10 plus 40, 50 marks question papers. All are multiple choice questions, means only one objective is correct, and there is negative marking. In section B, there are only 10 questions of 2 marks, so it is of only 20 marks, and all questions are multiple select questions, means here there are more than 2 options, more than 1 options are correct, and we get the full marks only if we mark tick all the correct options. Here there is no negative marking. In the last section there are 20 questions, so 10 questions of 1 mark, 10 questions of 2 marks, and total 30 marks, and all these questions are numerical answer type, means we have to write the answer of these questions, and here also there is no negative marking. So in summary, there are 60 questions, total marks 100, and time duration is 3 hours. About nature of question papers, real analysis, approximately out of 60, 13 questions. Most of the questions are asked from real analysis. Calculus of single variable, 11 questions. Calculus of 2 or 3 variables, 9 questions. Linear algebra, 9 questions. Vector calculus, 9 questions. And differential equations, 7 questions. This is an approximate tentative number. It may vary plus or minus 2. And abstract algebra, there are 6 questions. You must know the cutoff for 2019 general category cutoff is only 24.69, means out of 100. And this is you can watch the table, you can take the screenshot for your reference, or it is available on a website also. So I want to talk about, for general category students, they should cover approximately or on an average 28 marks out of 100 to get admission in IITs. For OBC candidates, approximately 25 marks. For SC/ST candidate, approximately, let us say 15 marks out of 100. You may get admission in somewhere in these IITs or IISCs. Study material, it's very important. We must study. There is a lot of confusion between about from where we should study for such examinations. About JAM, okay. Don't get so much confused. Only study these books, and it will help a lot to get it clear. And don't refer any other or many notes from other side. Real analysis, the books by S.K. Mapa and S.C. Malik. For multivariate calculus and integral calculus, Shom series and a book by Jain Iyengar. Differential equations, book by M.D. Rai Singhania. Linear algebra, Shom series, linear algebra Shom series book, and a book by Vivek Sahai and Vikas Bist. Linear algebra, I'm sorry, here it should be abstract algebra. By mistake I have typed here linear. Only abstract algebra, a book by Joseph Gallion and Ian Hurston. This Ian Hurston is a book for our graduate students also. So only study from these books, and it will help you a lot to get it clear. There are 6 months remaining, because 13th February there is an examination for JAM. What you can plan for this next 6 months? Understand the syllabus well. Understand your weak and strong areas. Somebody may like abstract algebra, somebody may like real analysis, somebody may be strong in differential equations. Understand your weak and strong areas and concentrate on that. Prepare a scheduled, very nice timetable for the preparation, at least 5 to 6 hours per day. Revise the basic concepts to avoid common mistakes. Revise means here I want to say revise the formulae from 12th standard. You may forget it. You must recall this at a time. Otherwise, it will be difficult to solve other big problems. So revise these basic concepts. Use only specific study material. That is important. Don't get confused in referring too much study material. Only this much study material is enough. But study it thoroughly. Track the progress, yourself progress by undergoing frequent mock tests. Okay. With this presentation, now let me come to some question papers of JAM examination. We'll try to see the nature of these question papers. I have downloaded these question papers for JAM examination. We'll come to NET set examinations also. We'll come to GATE examination also. Let's say last year question paper. Is my screen visible?
Yes,
Dr.
sir.
Bhavre?
Yes, sir. Yes. Yes, screen is
Okay,
visible.
thank you. So, section A, multiple choice questions. Okay, there are 10 question 1 to 10 carry 1 mark each. So first 10 questions carry 1 mark, and next 20 questions carry 2 marks each. So this section A is of 50 marks. You can see the questions over here. Let me come to this question number 3. This is sample questions I have selected, means to understand the nature of the difficulty level of such examinations. These question papers are means set by IIT people. This time IIT Roorkee will be organizing institute for JAM 2022, and people from there, of course, people from all over the IITs will select the question, set the question paper. See question number 3, for example, read it carefully and we'll see the answer, but I request students also to read the question carefully. First important thing is to read the question carefully, because many things are incorporated in the statement of the problem itself, because continuous function, you must know what is continuous function. Okay, a function from f is a function from R to R, means what is its domain, what is its codomain. To understand this is also important. Let's read this question. Let f is a function from R to R be a continuous function satisfying f of x is equal to f of x plus 1 for all x belonging to R. Then option A, B, C, D. Only one of the options is true. What is the correct answer? First option is f is not necessarily bounded above. There exists a unique x naught belonging to R such that f of x naught plus pi is equal to f of x naught. There is no x naught belonging to R such that f of x naught plus pi is equal to f of x naught. And last option is there exist infinitely many x naught belonging to R such that x naught plus pi is equal to f of x naught. So students, what do you think about the answer of this question number 3? Means you may reply, because this point from this onward, let's have a sort of discussion on the questions. You may share your experiences, you may share your thoughts about these questions. You can at least guess what is the correct answer. You may require some calculations. The condition satisfied by f is f of x is f of x plus 1. Means, what do you understand by this condition? Let us say x is equal to 1, means f of 1 is equal to f of 1 plus 1, means f of 1 is equal to f of 2. What is f of 2? F of 2 is equal to f of 2 plus 3, means f of 2 is equal to f of 3. But f of 2 was f of 1, so f of 1 is equal to f of 2 is equal to f of 3. So it is equal to f of 4, it is equal to f of 5, and so on and so forth. So if we have this question, such a function, what can be true out of these A, B, C, D?
Option B.
Option B. There exists unique x naught belonging to R such that f of x naught plus phi is equal to f of x naught. Or there may be option D. There exist infinitely many x naught belonging to R such that f of x naught plus phi is equal to f of x naught, because it is a, you see, it is a constant function. In other words, it is a constant function. This f of x is equal to f of x plus 1, right? It is another wording of saying that f is a constant function. So what about the constant function? What is true about the constant function? So such questions are there in these examinations. F is not necessarily bounded above, so it cannot be true because the constant function is a bounded function, isn't it? So out of yeah, one more thing, that out of 4 options, a student can easily guess what is not correct. So finding correct option is maybe somewhat difficult, but finding not correct option is comparatively easier. Option A is of course not correct. Out of B, C, and D. So this guess will help you to reduce the options. Out of 3 options, one of B, C, and D, one of them is correct. I think option D is correct. Come to this next question. F is a function from R to R, a continuous function again, such that for all x belonging to R, integration from 0 to 1 f of x comma t dt is equal to 0. And this has been given the number star. Then again there are 4 options A, B, C, D. Which one of them is correct? You also can read. Is this a small font readable in your screen? Is this small font readable on your screen? Or may I increase the, may I zoom the screen?
थोडं झूम करा वाटल्यास, कारण मोबाईलवर वाचता येत नसेल, लॅपटॉपवर वाचता येते. हा ठीक आहे.
Now is it readable? Yeah.
Yes sir.
So this function satisfies integration from 0 to 1 f of x xt dt is equal to 0. So what about the correct option A, B, C, and D? F must be identically 0 on the whole line. See, if we think of this integration as area under the curve f of xt. F of xt is having some graph between 0 to 1, and below the area below the curve between 0 and 1 on x-axis is 0. So area is 0 means what must be true? A, B, C, or D? Is A true? F must be identically 0 on whole line. Means the area is 0 only if F is at 0. Is it? Or option B, there is an F satisfying star that is identically 0 on 0, 1 but not identically 0 on the whole line. Means option B says that the F is 0 only on the open interval 0, 1 but not 0 elsewhere. Option C says that there is an F satisfying star that takes both positive and negative values. And D, there is an F satisfying star that is 0 at infinitely many points but not identically 0. So students, you must know about this integration, that integration is it has a positive sign or negative sign. Area below x-axis is, we get negative answer for that. Area above x-axis we get positive answer for that. And we know if area below x-axis and area above x-axis are same, then integration may be 0 because it adds plus minus, right? So option C is correct. There is an f satisfying star that takes both negative, positive and negative values. So you must think in this way. These are the sample questions I have selected. It is of course not possible to cover each and everything in this single lecture. Okay. It is a common thing to negate one given statement. This is the question on that. For every integer n, fn is function from R to R. From given choices, pick the statement that is the negation of this given statement. Now read this question, read this statement carefully. For every x belonging to R and for every real number epsilon greater than 0, there exists an integer n greater than 0 such that this sum is less than epsilon for every integer p greater than 0. Of course, this is a somewhat complicated statement because many, what we say, quantifiers are present in this statement. Quantifiers means for every is a quantifier, and it appears thrice, every, for every, and for every. It has appeared thrice in this single statement. Also, one more quantifier is there exist integer n greater than 0. Okay, this is another quantifier. So there are 4 quantifiers. So read this sentence carefully, and what can be the negation of this? Negation means if P is statement, then not P is its negation, right? So try to negate this statement. For this, for all the students, graduate and undergraduate students, may I ask one simple question to you? I will give you one English statement and try to negate this. Those who are mathematicians will think in a different way to answer my question. The statement is, there is holiday on every Sunday of a year. I'll repeat my statement. There is holiday on every Sunday of a year. What is the negation of this statement? I appeal all the participants over here.
Participants are requested to unmute yourself and speak if you know the answer.
Yeah, you unmute yourself and speak.
नाही तर बोलला तरी काय कळणार नाही इकडे कोणी.
I request Dr. Vavre sir to handle this and try allow one person to speak at one time. So if 2 or 3 students speak at a time, will not understand.
Okay, raise your hand. Want to speak?
The statement is, there is a holiday on every Sunday of a year. What is the negation of this statement?
अनम्यूट करून बोलू शकतात सर ते स्वतःला.
Yeah. Okay. I think nobody is speaking over here.
See, communication should be 2 ways.
So I think there are 63 participants.
Yes, there were actually 77 people might be left meeting.
सर
Yes,
बोला.
please.
सर रॉंग झालं तर चालेल.
बिलकुल चालेल.
There is a holiday on each day of year except Sunday.
Okay. There is a holiday on each day of except Sunday. Okay. The exact negation of this statement is, there exists at least one Sunday on which there is no holiday in a year. Okay, we are not talking about the days which are not Sundays. We are talking about days on which Sunday falls. So stick to the Sundays only. We have given no information about the days on which there is no Sunday, isn't it? So the negation of this statement is there exists at least one Sunday on which there is no holiday. So this is a very logical thinking in negating one statement. Like there are contrapositive statements, isn't it? In logic, you must have studied this. Fine. Let me go to the. So, by the way, the answer of question 7 is A. I will share these question papers with Dr. Mahesh Vavre so that he can share this with you. So don't worry about this material. All the question papers will be
Okay.
shared.
Share with Dr. Fulsagar sir also, so that
Yeah.
the students
I
can
will
also.
share this with the students of my college as well as RP college also. Come to this question, my friends. This is the carry 2 marks. Yeah, f is a function from n to n. Be a bijective map such that summation f of n upon n square, n running from 1 to infinity, is less than infinity. The number of such bijective maps is, this series is less than infinity means this series is convergent, right? If this series is convergent, then what must be true out of ABCD? So of course, question you can see question 11 to 30 carry 2 marks each, right? So exactly the number of such bijective maps is, how many maps possible? Exactly 1 or 0, finite but more than 1, infinite. If you see this carefully, if we put n is equal to 1, f of 1, and then it becomes f of 1 upon 1 square, means f of 1 upon 1. If n is equal to 2, f of 2 upon 2 square, f of 3 upon 3 square, f of 4 upon 4 square, means plus, and this is the series. Now in order to have this series to be convergent series, how many such possible, this series is convergent, it is given, sorry, it is given there. So how many such bijective maps are possible? In order to have this series convergent, the denominator should be less than I'm sorry, the numerator should be less than the denominator. Means f of 2 upon 2 square, 2 square is 4, means f of 2 upon 4, means f of 2 should be less than 4, f of 3 should be less than 9, f of 4 should be less than 16, right? So what can be the image of image of 4 under f? It can be any number between 1 to 15. 1 to 15. It is not allowed to get f of 4 is equal to 16 even, not allowed, because 16 by 16 is 1, and then this series may not be convergent. Every term in this should be less than 1. If every term is greater than 1, the sum will be will not converge to a finite number, it will be infinity, right? So I think numerator should be less than the denominator, and then the answer for that is finite but not more than 1. Sorry, finite but more than 1 possible, because for every choice there are more than 1 possible images, isn't it? So think in this way, these require no calculation, my dear friends. This answering this question require no calculation, but just an observation. Some some problems may require calculations, but some problems can be answered by simple observations as well. Question number 16. Define S is equal to limit n tending to infinity of this product. Then what is the limit? In short, it has been asked, what is the value of this limit? Okay, if you see the first term, it is 4 by 3, the second term is 8 by 9, third term is 15 by 16. Means if n is equal to 1, it is sorry, if n is equal to 2, And it starts with 2. N is equal to 1, the term is 0. It starts with 2. If n is equal to 2, it is 3 by 4. If n is equal to 3, it is 3 by 4 into 8 by 9. If n is equal to 4, it is 3 by 4 into 8 by 9 into 15 by 16. And you just calculate for a few more terms and then see the limit. The limit of this I have also not calculated, but I think it is s is equal to 1 by 2. Okay. So you understand the difficulty level of these questions. You require that much preparation for that. Let me come to the some other question papers. Their MSc students are also there. How many MSc students are there approximately here? How many MSc students are there on this meeting?
Th- 30, sir, near about 30.
Okay, yes, thank you. Okay, this is a set question paper. August somewhere. August question paper, set question paper. Okay. This paper contains 50 multiple choice questions. Each question carries 2 marks. Attempt all questions and there is a time of 75 minutes. It is paper 2. Okay. Come to this first. The segment AB of the x-axis of R2 is neither open nor closed, open, closed, both open and closed. Now a student must answer this question because it is applicable to TY students, TYBSc students as well as MSc students, of course. Student means must try to answer, even if it is a wrong answer. Please try to speak something about such questions because I may give the answer to you directly of this question, but it is of no use. Means I will come to know that how many of you are really want to prepare for such examinations, because it is a golden opportunity that has your teacher has opened for you.
चॅट बॉक्स मध्ये मेन्शन करा वाटल्यास आन्सर तुम्हाला बोलायचं नसेल तर ऑप्शन ए
Yeah.
बी सी डी.
Hey, yeah. You imagine x-axis in R2. R2 means x and y axis, a plane made by these two axes, right? And consider the segment AB on x-axis. A is one number, B is another number. AB is open interval, right? In this open interval, A is not included, B is not included. It is open at both the ends. And such a subset of R2 is open or not, or neither open nor closed, or both open and closed. For that you must know the definition of open set, the definition of closed set, etc. Isn't it? This is the question from real analysis. Okay, instead of giving the answer to this question, I will let my students think on this. Okay.
Sir,
Yes, please.
sir, second number open.
Open. Now you take 1 point on this in this open
It is
interval.
on R2, it's not on R.
Yeah. Take the. Please consider this means the superset, universal set. It is R2. You are taking this AB, looking at this AB in R2, not in R1, and then you give the answer.
Treat that as subset of plane, not an real line. That's why sir told you to read questions carefully.
Carefully. This is the basic requirement, reading the question carefully.
A, sir.
Okay,
Neither open
Definition
nor
of
closed.
open set, closed set.
Yeah.
Can anyone tell me here in the group?
No,
What do you mean by
that girl
open set?
has, yeah, that girl has answered right.
Okay.
Neither open nor closed.
Yeah. Very good.
Very good, very good. An open set in R is the student the rightly answered was MSc student
No,
or
sir.
BSc,
BS second year.
BA, BSc second year.
Yes, sir.
Wow, great, good. An open set in R is an interval or finite union of open intervals, countable union of disjoint open intervals in R, or intersection of open intervals. Okay, in real analysis, there is one theorem that every open set in R, how it look like, either it is finite union of open intervals or countable union of disjoint open intervals in R that are mutually disjoint. This is the big statement. Now there may be the confusion between B and C. Now if we consider B, finite union of open intervals, but these open intervals should be mutually disjoint, and it is not mentioned in option B. So B statement is partially true, whereas C statement, countable union of disjoint open intervals in R. Disjoint open intervals is clearly written here, right? Actually it is B with mutually disjoint and C, but in B there is no mutually disjoint word, so option C is only correct option. It is, so this is a famous theorem in real analysis. So a statement directly from the theorem can appear in examination. So you must read all the statements of the theorems carefully. Okay. Reading the statements and understanding the result helps a lot in these appearing these questions. Fine. Some questions are from linear algebra as well. Sorry. Let VF be a vector space. Consider the following statements. If alpha, beta, gamma are linearly independent vectors in VF, then alpha plus beta, comma, beta plus gamma, comma, gamma plus alpha are also linearly independent. This is the first statement. The second statement is the set of vectors A, which is a subset of the vector space V, which contains the zero vector, is always linearly independent. These two statements are given. Then there are four options A, B, C, D. Both 1 and 2 true, both 1 and 2 are false, only 1 is true, only 2 is true. A simple concept of linear dependence independence. But you will not able to answer these questions, this question, if you don't know the meaning of linearly independence clearly. Meaning of linearly independence clearly. Okay, a simple definition, but you must know the meaning of this, right? What about the second statement? Means if a set contains zero vector, can that set linearly independent? अगर किसी सेट में जीरो वेक्टर है तो उस सेट के वेक्टर्स लिनियरली इंडिपेंडेंट हो सकते हैं क्या? नहीं हो सकते, isn't it? A set vectors in which there is a zero vector is always linearly dependent. Statement 2 is not true. Whereas अगर अल्फा बीटा गैमा लिनियरली इंडिपेंडेंट है तो ये तीनों भी अल्फा प्लस बीटा, बीटा प्लस गैमा एंड गैमा प्लस अल्फा आर ऑल्सो लिनियरली इंडिपेंडेंट है. So first is true but not the second. Right? Means only one is true. Option C is correct option over there. I think should I continue with few more questions, or if time permits, Dr. Vaure?
Yes, sir. Continue, sir. Continue.
Continue. Okay. come to this question, a simple question on linear algebra. Which of the functions t from R2 to R2 are not linearly transformations? Here the question is, we have to identify which is not linearly transform, which is not a linear transformation. For that, what is linear transformation? That you should know. अगर आपको पता है कि linear transformation क्या है, तो आप इस क्वेश्चन का आंसर दे सकते हैं कि ये linear transformation नहीं है. तो इसमें से कौन सा ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन linear transformation नहीं है? Yes.
C, sir.
C, exactly. Good. T, K, KB, K comes out if it is a linear transformation, but a constant cannot be taken out if it is a transformation of C type. 1 plus A comma B. Yeah, good. Fine. Simple questions like that also can be asked. Just find the rank of this matrix. You do simple calculation and obtain the rank of this matrix. Rank of a matrix is number of non-zero rows in its row echelon form. So reduce this matrix to row echelon form and count the number of non-zero rows. Okay. The answer for this is, the rank of this matrix is 3. No, it is 3. You just calculate it. Means reduce it to row echelon form. Right. You will find there are all the 3 rows are non-zero rows. The option is B. Yeah. Can you answer this question number 19? If an is equal to closed interval 1 upon n comma 1, then union an is this. I am just focusing here on questions where they can be answered by just observation or mere few calculations.
Just ask them what is the set A1.
Pardon?
Given by A1. त्यांना
A1,
A1 म्हणजे काय विचारा नाही.
Yes. What is A1? If n is equal to 1.
A1, A2.
What is A1?
1.
1. 1 upon 1 means
Singleton
1. 1 comma 1 means it is just singleton 1. If n is equal to 2, it is 1/2 1. Closed interval 1/2 1. Imagine you are taking union of all these. Means singleton 1, union, singleton, closed interval 1/2 1, union, closed interval 1/3 1, union, closed interval 1/4 1. If possible, you can also draw the picture of that. And then what comes out with this union? Of course, 1 is there. 1 is there, means option B or C. 1 cannot be out of this union because in each interval there is 1. So option A and D are not right. Option B and C. So whether 0 is there or not, that is the question. 0 is there or not. As n runs from 1 to infinity, can 0 be included in this union? No. Yes, correct. Because it is a limiting point tending to infinity, means it is the 1 by n tends to 0, but it is not exactly taking the value of 0, approaching 0, isn't it? That's why the name is limit, not exact value, limit of this. So 0 is not included. The option B is correct option over there. Come to this. This is a very simple question. TYBSc students, real analysis. If A and B are real numbers, then supremum AB a comma b, or you can say maximum of a comma b. अगर दो रियल नंबर्स है a and b, तो उनमें से मैक्सिमम नंबर कौन सा है? a और b से जनरल फॉर्मूला क्या है उसमें? इट इज वेरी straightforward formula that it is option is b, right? B option, a plus b plus mod of a minus b divided by 2, and a plus b minus mod of a minus b divided by 2 is infimum. Instead of supremum, the option A is infimum of a and b. You can answer this question also. In, where it is a collection of all the x between 0 to 1 by n. Means if I1 will be collection of all the x between 0 and 1. Means open interval 0 1. I2 open interval 0 1 half. I3 open interval 0 1 by 3. And if we take the intersection of all these, okay, it is all these are nested intervals. 0 1 half is a subset of 0 1. 0 1 by 3 is subset of 0 half. And if we go on taking intersection, we left with singleton 0. Here it is also one of the famous theorems, Cantor intersection theorem. It is like that, isn't it? Come to this 24th, very simple question again. F of z is sin z by z cube. Z is not equal to 0. Then at z is equal to 0, f has a removable singularity, a pole of order 1, a pole of order 3, or a pole of order 2. Right? Try to answer this. You must know the Taylor series expansion of, or Maclaurin series expansion of sin z, so that you can cancel z and only z square left at the denominator, and it is a pole of order 2 and z is equal to 0. Right? Come to this next question. Yeah. Huh? Oh, done. Pardon. Consider the following two statements. A is triangular matrix and no entry on the main diagonal is 0. Then A is singular. If A is triangular matrix and an entry on the main diagonal is 0, then A is invertible. Singular means what? Its determinant is equal to 0. And invertible means what? Its determinant is not equal to 0. Think on these two statements and try to answer A, B, C, D. I think all these questions are very simple questions. I have selected just to make you comfortable that there are many simple questions in NET, SET, GATE, JAM examinations. You can appear for them, and little more rigorous study will definitely make you clear all these examinations. I think I have taken my time. There are many questions. I will share study material to Dr. Vaur and all my students. And at the last, I wish all the grand success to all my dear students. And I take my leave. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Vidyadhar Nalawade, sir. This is very vast area which could not be covered in 1 hour, but you have given a flavor to our students. How to read carefully, how to pick out the wrong options from the questions, and that is well enough. Small path is also enough to achieve the target. This is very important for the students to get right path to move on. So thank you, Dr. Vidyadhar Nalawade, sir. I am requesting Dr. Pursagar, sir, who is head and associate professor from uh, Department of Mathematics, RP College, Osmanabad, to speak a few words with our all students from your college, also my college and Nalade's college also.
Hello,
Please welcome.
sir. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. Uh, the speaker of today's online lecture, my friend, Honorable Dr. Vidyadhar Nalawade, sir. Dr. Mahesh Wavre, sir, Head of the Department, Rajarshi Shahu College, Latur. Students of Shahu College, Latur, our RP College, Usmanabad, and Ragesh Shinde Mahavidyalaya, Paranda. Today's lecture was very important lecture on an important topic. How to prepare for the examinations, competitive examinations, SET, NET, JAM or GATE. So these examinations are important for making good career in mathematics or any other subject. To make a good career, one should get admission to good institute, and these are the institutes of central government established are very good institutes, and they provide uh, good knowledge and a skill of regarding the subject. So we are also planning to have a course for preparation for JAM examination. From last 3-4 years we are trying, but there are some difficulties because we are having lack of faculty. And one idea that is now, I hope it will be successful, that a collaboration in with the colleges, Rajarshi Sahu College or Nalawade Sir's College. In collaboration, we can try. And Nalawade sir explained the topic very well, nicely. He explained the importance of the examination, the scheme of the examination, pattern of the question paper, scheme of marking, also probable cutoff he explained. And he has considered some examples also, how the questions are there, what type of questions are there. Apparently they may look difficult for students, but by practice these can be understood, the questions and patterns can be understood. So very nice lecture was given by Nalawade sir. So I am very thankful to Nalawade sir, and he illustrated not only JAM exams pattern but also SET examination. And these examinations are important for students who want to make career in mathematics. So nowadays these are very important, and students should get knowledge of mathematics, fundamental knowledge on core subjects. He also suggested some books, and that are also important for the preparation of these examinations. And we have recently done a memorandum of understanding with Shahu College, and we will be planning such collaborative activities together with Shahu College, also Nalawade Sir's college, and so that this will be not only useful for students but uh, for us, the faculty also. This is useful, this is inspirative, informative, and such activities we will try to conduct in future also. So thank you very much, Nalawade sir, Wavre sir. Thank you. And thank you participants also, students. Thank you, sir.
Thanks, sir, with your warm words.
Okay, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
Okay,
Now
sir.
today's the concluding session, that is vote of thanks. I request my colleague Dr. Nishank Sudhakar Pimpre to put vote of thanks of this test lecture program.
Thank you, sir. So here we are in our last session of today's guest lecture organized by Department of Mathematics, Rajarshi Mahavidyalaya, on the topic preparation of SET NET GATE examination for UG and PG level students. So heartily first thankful to Dr. Vidyadhar Nalawade sir from SRG Shinde College, Paranda, for preparing such a nice lecture for all the three college students, UG and PG both, in a well-planned manner, in which his talk he explained very neatly and cleanly the syllabus, how to prepare the JAM, how to prepare for SET and NET, and basically what are the weightages of the corresponding topics as far as the JAM is concerned, and he also solved many problems from the area of real analysis and algebra. Might be his teaching interest is real analysis, and I want to share one more thing, that even though I'm also from the real analysis background, so it's a nice thing to deal with you, and for giving your precious time to our students for this guest lecture. This is the first lecture I want to share. This is the first lecture of our institute. That's the guest lecture delivered by you. So thank you very much, sir. I'm also thankful to Dr. S.S. Kulsagar, sir, from RP College, Osmanabad, for putting his views related to the collaborative work among these three colleges. So definitely we are with you always. So the only thing is that our communication is only the thing. So we should be in contact with each other for future any program or any activity. We are with you, sir. Okay. So also I'm thankful to our HOD, Dr. M.S. Vauri, sir, for arranging such a nice lecture for our UG and PG students. Also, I'm thankful to my colleague Deepak sir, Ashwini sir, and all the dear students from various colleges who took participate in this guest lecture. And I hope all the students get fruitful benefit from this workshop and this lecture. Thank you, one and all. So I think with the permission of the chair, shall I conclude this lecture come to an end, this program or this guest lecture? Yes, sir. You want to say some announcement from your side, Mauri sir?
No announcement.
Okay, sir. Thank
Thank you,
Kulsagar sir.
Kulsagar
Malawade
sir.
sir.
Thank you, students of RP College, Osmanabad. Thank you, the
sir.
students of SRG Shinde Mahavidyalaya, and thanks to our students from Shaw College, Latur. Thank you. Thanks for attending the program.
Thank you, sir. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
nice organization of the lecture.
Should I end the meeting, sir, from here?
Okay, sir.